Good morning, children. Today is the second day of video learning. I had begun with digestive system in human body. Now, I had told you last day about the dentition in humans. Now, today I'll tell you about how food goes through the mouth and gets digested and is passed out through the anus. Now, digestion in human beings is extracellular, that is, it does not take place inside the cells, but through special organs like the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine and the large intestine. And then it is digested off through the anus. Now, when the food is passing by, there are other functions which are also taking place, which is known as indigestion, that is, the food goes through the mouth, then it comes to after passing through all this, then digestion takes place, then absorption, assimilation and egestion. So, food gets digested in the alimentary canal. This whole thing is known as the alimentary canal. And associated digestive glands help in the digestion of food. Now, how this digestion takes place, I will explain you just now. When food is taken in through the mouth, it is chewed up with the help of our teeth, that is, it is masticated, and this is known as mechanical digestion. After this, we have chemical digestion, that is when that food is acted upon certain chemical enzymes. Then it is known as chemical digestion. Now, mechanical digestion helps the food to be broken down into smaller particles with the help of the teeth, the jaw bones and the muscles. Then in the mouth it is mixed up with the salivary juice secreted by the salivary glands. Now, there are 3 salivary glands present in our mouth. You can see here 1, 2 and 3. And this one is the food. It goes into the esophagus. From the mouth, the food passes into the esophagus. This is different. This is the windpipe, the trachea. And on top you see the nasal cavity. Here is the nasal cavity. Here is the nose and the nasal cavity. Then this food, which is known as the bolus, it passes through the food pipe, that is esophagus. It is around 25 centimeter in length. Here there is no digestive enzymes acting upon the food. But the food goes through this tube-like structures, that is the esophagus, in a wave-like contraction and relaxation method. That is called peristalsis. Okay, that is in one place when it goes, the muscles below that expand and then it is pushed down. Above it contracts and then the food is pushed on. So in this way, the food in a wave-like contraction and relaxation method, it goes into the stomach. Now, stomach is a sac-like organ. J-shaped it is. And it is around 30 centimeter long. In the stomach, there are certain juices secreted. The inner lining means not from outside, from inside, where the food goes. So, inner lining of the stomach inside, okay, there are certain juices secreted, and these juices are secreted by the gastric glands. Okay, the inner lining of the stomach, it secretes juices and they are secreted by the gastric glands. Now, there are 2 types of juices secreted by the gastric glands. That is, the gastric juice has got 2 types of enzymes, the renin and the pepsin. Pepsin, it converts proteins into peptones. Okay, proteins into peptones. And renin converts the solid, that is the food, that is the milk protein into that is the casein into insoluble curd. But this food which has come here, it is acted upon by the salivary juice that I have told you. And then it gets converted into chemical digestion. Chemical digestion also begins in the mouth only. and then it is coming over here, and there is an enzyme in the mouth called amylase, ptyalin amylase. It converts the starch into maltose. Okay, that is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, one form of carbohydrate is starch. Starch is converted into maltose in the mouth only. That is, digestion of food begins in the mouth, and then it goes here and then comes to the stomach, where it is acted upon by the gastric juice. Just now I told you two types of gastric juices are there. Now, hydrochloric acid also is secreted here in the stomach, and this kills most of the bacteria which comes through our food here, and it also helps in the formation of proteins into peptones by the action of the enzyme pepsin. Then mucus is also secreted by the inner lining of the stomach. This mucus, what it does, it neutralizes the acidic effect of the hydrochloric acid which is secreted here in the stomach. The mucus, it neutralizes the hydrochloric acid effect over the stomach, and it protects the stomach from damage. Okay. Then the food, it passes around, it remains in the stomach around 2 hours, around 2 hours. In 2 hours time, it is churned up, and then it goes into the small intestine. Now, this food in a semi-solid manner, which goes into the small intestine, it is called chyme. What it is called? Chyme. Now, the initial part of the small intestine, it is called duodenum. Initial part of the small intestine, it is called duodenum, and this duodenum has it does not have enzymes of its own. No juices are secreted by it, but it is helped out, that is, the food inside it is helped out in digestion with the help of the bile juice, which is secreted by the liver. Okay, the liver secretes bile juice and it is stored in the gallbladder. Now, this bile juice comes and helps in the digestion of food. Okay, but the bile juice does not have any enzyme. But the juice itself, what it does, it makes the bigger molecules of fat into smaller molecules, so that the surface area of the molecules, the small molecules, increases to help in the digestion of fat. Another thing what happens when the food comes here, that the pancreas, it secretes the pancreatic juice. Okay, and this pancreatic juice has got 3 enzymes, the amylase, trypsin and lipase. Lipase, it converts fatty acids fats into fatty acids and glycerol. And trypsin, it again converts the proteins, peptones, into peptides or amino acids. And the amylase, whatever leftover carbohydrates are there or starch is there, that is converted into maltose. Now, from here, the food passes. This is the initial part of the small intestine. It is around the whole small intestine. It is around 7 meters long. And then the food passes from the small intestine to the large intestine. But here in the small intestine, what happens? All the digestion is completed in the small intestine. That is, the digestion of proteins, carbohydrates and fats, all are completed in the small intestine. It also does another work which is called absorption, and assimilation also takes place at the same time. Okay, now this small intestine, the inner lining secretes a juice called succus entericus. Now, this succus entericus has got several enzymes. Here it is lined up, okay, which has got more or less the same functions which I have told you just now. Trypsin, it will convert the peptides into amino acids. Then maltase, it will convert maltose into glucose. Sucrase will convert sucrose into glucose. And then lactase, it will convert lactose into again glucose and galactose, and this peptides again to via peptidases to amino acids. Now, after the digestion of protein, now this inner lining of the small intestine, this what you see a tube-like structure, it is the small intestine. The inner lining of the small intestine, it is having millions of finger-like projections, which is called the villus. Okay, villus or villi, just like this. This is the wall of the small intestine, and these are the finger-like projections. Millions of them are there, and it is full of blood vessels. And these blood vessels help in the absorption of digested food. When the food is digested in the small intestine, then the particles, microparticles, they are absorbed by the walls of the villus, and then they are carried to the via the blood to different parts of the body. Okay, so complete digestion of food takes place in the small intestine. Then the food passes from the small intestine. Here is the connection to the large intestine. And the large intestine comprises of three parts, that is the cecum, the colon, and the rectum. Now, food which goes into the large intestine, it is around the large intestine about 1.5 meters long. It's not larger in size than the small intestine, but it is wider. And here the undigested food materials are go into it. And here no digestion takes place, but only absorption of water takes place. So in the large intestine, what happens? Only absorption of water takes place. No digestion takes place. And the food is kept in a semi-digested, that is the undigested waste materials, they are kept in the rectum for some time. And from there, after some time, it is ejected away via the anus. Because we don't require that. Again we will take food, again digestion will take place, absorption will take place, assimilation will take place, and ingestion will take place. So this is all about the digestive system which we have learned today. The next day I will deal with how the different types of glands, they help in the digestion of food in our digestive system. So this is all for today, children. Thank you, and learn whatever I have taught you today. You'll find it very interesting and you will be happy after learning them. And if you have any problems, then you can ask me through the mobile. Okay, thank you.